Good evening, everybody. Welcome in. Dennis, good to see you. Hope everyone is doing well tonight. Oops, get that brush out from underneath the caboose there. Hope you all are having a wonderful evening. We've got lots of weathering projects on the table here tonight. We are going to continue working on things we've been working on. I'm going to be working on these two BNSF GEs for my good friend Sean. We're going to be working on this fantastic Finger Lakes transfer caboose / shoving platform for Garrett. By the way, welcome in, Garrett. Good to see you. You'll be seeing me work on this here tonight. Ed, good to see you. Welcome in. Hope you're doing well tonight, my friend. Scott, Chris, good to see you guys. Welcome in. I was just talking about what we are going to be working on tonight. We're going to be working on these two GEs here in N-Scale for my good friend Sean at Klondike's. We're going to be working on this Finger Lakes 202R model that Garrett so wonderfully detailed and built, and I am going to be working on doing some more weathering on for him. And then depending on timing, we're going to be jumping over to try and finish up this BN reefer here that I am a good chunk of the way done with, to roughly match the HO scale model that I did for the Walters competition a couple of years back. So that's kind of what we're looking at here tonight. Although I'm trying to decide what to start on. Banu, good to see you. Adam, good to see you. Glad you guys are in here. It is an evening. Oh, jeez. Steve, good to see you. Good evening. All right. I got to pick and choose what I'm going to start on here. Peter, you got a good new HO scale locomotive. Nice. Welcome in. Good to see you. It's been a little bit. Good to have you. All right. So first thing I'm going to do, we're going to start with these GEs, I think. Jason, good evening, my friend. Good to see ya. Finish the caboose. Dennis says finish the caboose. Okay, we'll finish the caboose. Then well, maybe not finish, but we'll do some more work on the caboose, and then we'll jump to Paul's beloved GEs here. I do want to quickly show off what I've done, though, because some of you guys were not around this weekend when I was working on some of this stuff for the Model Train People's Trainathon, which was a fundraiser we were running this weekend, 24-hour live stream. That was a lot of fun to do, even though it made me very tired. I still had a lot of fun doing that. But we were fundraising for the Peyton Manning's Children's Hospital out in Indianapolis, Indiana. We raised $1,150 over the 24 hours that we were live, and the GoFundMe is still up and available. If you missed out and you still want to donate, it's a great cause. But that is still available. Go to the Model Train People YouTube page or my streams from this weekend, and you can find the link in the description of all of that. What am I doing? I am trying to bring up my Zoom, which is not there, but here, and there. All right, so we'll start with looking at this Dash 8 that I did. So this Dash 8 basically just got a very basic fade. I'm using my buddy Ted's weathering method of using some colors, some oil paints to basically negate the existing colors to fade it down. So we faded out the orange and the green, and the yellow kind of got faded by proxy. And I think it came out very nicely. We've got a couple of panels that are cleaner than the rest, which hasn't shown up quite as much as I was hoping it would, but I will try and keep those clean as I continue the weathering, and then that will hopefully add to that effect. I got to put the stack back on there before I continue the weathering. We've got Paul's beloved B23-7, which I had a little bit more fun with in doing some stuff. I added a little bit of the old Santa Fe yellow coming back through on the front of the sill here, and on the corners of the battery boxes. And then we've got some especially dirty panels. This F panel, as you can see, has been swapped from another unit and has a little more grime to it. And I think I did, yeah, this panel right here next to the B, same deal. A little more grimy, a little dirtier. But other than that, same fading all the way around. And I'm very happy with it, and it seemed like Sean was quite happy with it when he was on the stream as well. So there's those two. Next up, we've got Garrett's Caboose, which I think we will be continuing on with here. So here is 202R. All of the oil paint fading is done on it. The same technique used to fade it, and then I added some white to give the effect of the red kind of peeling away, which are in the prototype photos that Garrett sent me. So you can see that, the paint starting to peel up and showing the gray primer underneath, which I am very happy with. And then, obviously, like I said, faded all the way around. So we're going to continue work on this tonight, first up. So let's go ahead and figure out what I'm going to do first here. I think I am going to do some powders. Good evening, Sean. Welcome in. We will be hopefully working towards finishing up your locomotives tonight. We're going to be starting with Garrett's Finger Lakes 202R, and then popping over to your GEs. Just gonna grab, yeah, those will do. And then let me go ahead and grab the reference photos on my phone that Garrett sent me. Glad to hear you like it, Garrett. Let me pull up your reference photos. There we go, these ones here. So the big things I want to do, road grime, just some light road grime to fill in all the cracks and everything, and give it some depth. I'm now going to fade the roof. I'm going to add a little bit of rust to the roof, and just a little bit of grime to the roof to kind of kill the shine. Unless you're talking about on the GEs. If you're talking about on the GEs, I already have faded them a little bit, and then I'm going to let the powders do a lot more. I'm going to add some soot on the roof, and some grime on there, and then I might add one more layer of fading on the roofs before I continue, but we will see. Yes, Ed, this is an HO scale model. This is Garrett's HO scale model. He did all the detail work on it. It's a very nice starting model. It's a brass caboose. No, the caboose. Okay, yes, yeah. I'm gonna add some just a light bit of rust on the roof and a light bit of grime on the roof, and let that kill the shine. Because it's kind of hard to fade silver. So I'm just gonna dull the shine with the weathering powders. That's the plan, anyway. All right, so. Yeah, I'm going to do all that. I got to add a bunch of grime around the patched over window right here. All my reference photos, there's a lot of grime built up around the plate that, the plated over window here. So I'm going to add that in. And then, yeah, just a lot of road grime on the pilot plates here and here. And then I'm going to go in and weather the knuckles and the trucks, and this will be largely done. Then it just will need to be sealed. Yeah, and I think that will do. Started as an NJ Customs brass model. Garrett painted, added details, added lights, and added sound. Yes, Garrett added. I wish I had. Maybe in a little bit, I'll go grab my DCC EX and hook it up to my track here. Various gray powders to dull the shine. Yes. True. That is true, Garrett. Although I'm not adding real primer, I'm just making it look like primer. But yes, Garrett did not in fact prime this model. So actually on this one looks okay. I don't see any bare, well, on the undercarriage you can see some bare copper, as well as the wiring. But we're not going to look too closely at that. But yes, that is what we are going to do. Alright, so I'm going to start off with some soot to just darken in the diamond plating on the platforms here. Also, please let me know if the music is a little too loud. I fiddled with a whole bunch of stuff to do the live streams this weekend, and I don't know what changed. So please let me know if the music's too quiet or too loud or anything. One day you'll actually detail the underbodies, but that's some other day's problem. Ted, good evening, Ted. Good to see you. Ed, is it a powered unit? Never seen Pilot Snow Caboose before. It's not a powered unit. It is a shoving platform. That's why you got your headlights, your ditch lights. There you go. Your headlights, your ditch lights. It's got a generator for all of the functions. It's got a horn, a compressed air powered horn, a rotary beacon for when it's shoving. It's for Garrett or Paul can probably explain it better than me, but my understanding is it is for some of the Finger Lakes jobs involved several mile long shove moves, and rather than having the conductor and brakeman just on the ladder of a car, they have these shoving platforms that they use to protect the shove, which is why they have the full pilots and lighting package and everything. Light music is fine. Didn't even hear it at first. Okay, good. That means I could probably bring it up a little bit, but I'll probably just leave it. Dennis, you could do some scratches on the silver, so Asian wear. Good example of what you mean of silver from Warp on it. You'll DM me. Okay. Yeah. I probably could do some scratches. I don't want to go too heavy. Fortunately, there are no music is okay, voice is a little loud. That is good to know, Ed. Thank you. I will bring my voice down a couple dBs. There. That's hopefully a little better. Shoving platform, but it also had radio equipment so you can MU to a locomotive and run the locomotive with a belt and throttle pack. Built pack throttle. There you go. Thank you for sharing, Garrett. Alright, that's good. We're going to add just a little bit of soot on the roof to dull the shine. What Garrett said. This one had a generator on board to power the lights. When it was used in the shove, 201 was used near the locomotive on the radio control. Dead. Peter was able to catch the D&H Jeep 38. Yeah. Yes, I see, Peter, by the way. I see your DM. I see what you're talking about now. Yeah, I don't know if I want to go quite that far. I am going to add some light rust to the roof, though, to give a similar effect, just to show a little age. But it's not going to be quite as heavy as that. 201 didn't have plows or anything, and 203 did have a plow on one end. There you go. There you go, Ed. There's your lowdown on these shoving platforms. Voice now does not sound like I'm yelling at Mikey. Good. We love Mikey. We don't want to yell at Mikey. All right, we're gonna add some soot to the pilot here. We're going to augment that with some grime and dirt as well. Oops, I'm working off camera. Your understanding is 1 and 2 spent a lot of time together in Geneva and Watkins Glen, and 203 was in Solvay. Okay. Neat. Let me actually pull the zoom back to like there. That way you guys can see a little better what I'm working on. I'm not working on N scale. It doesn't have to be zoomed as much. Billy and or Danny, welcome into the stream. More dirt, more dirt, more dirt. Always more dirt on this stream. Add some light soot along the whole side here. I'm going to add a little bit of soot around the generator here. There we go. And then a little bit of soot down the side, this side as well. There we go. Not N scale? Yes, this is definitely S scale. Definitely S scale, Billy. You should do a write-up on these, Garrett. They're fantastic models. I mean, I'm a very dirty boy. And we'll leave all other connotations to that out of it. Alright, that's good. Alright, we're going to go in with... oops, that's not the right... I want... Well, I do want some Old Tuscan, but I want light rust. That's light rust. Perfect. Good. Danny today. Nice. Good to have you on, Danny. N scale is coming. Don't be afraid. I've got Sean's GEs here that need some dirt and grime, but that'll happen next. I want to work towards finishing off the caboose for Garrett here first. Light rust across the whole roof here. Just to kind of tint. There we go. That looks pretty good. bit more down here. Good, good. Have I tried Micromark's brush cam? I don't know what that is, so no, Ed. Not entirely sure what that is. Danny might need one of those. Yes, definitely. Check out Adam's weight/scale rulers. I've got an N scale one right here. It is very nice for adding weight and bringing them up to bringing cars up to weight standards. You put the car down on the end, and it'll tell you. It'll tell you your scale length of the car. It'll tell you your actual length of the car in centimeters and inches, and then it'll tell you the recommended weight in ounces and grams. And Adam's done a fantastic job making them, both with and without wheel grooves. So, highly, highly recommend checking that out. Pardon me. Excuse me. All right. To add a little bit of light rust to the pilots. Sounds good, Dennis. Thanks for tuning in. Good to have you as always. And wishing you a good night, man. Hope you enjoy those decals. For anyone who doesn't know what decals I am talking about, Dennis is one of the 4 folks who won some decals from me in N scale. Well, two N scale, 2 HO scale, actually, it worked out to be, of BNCCS's diabetes awareness boxcars back in November when I was running my diabetes awareness streams. Jason Sawyer, who was on here earlier, and might still be on here. I'm not sure if Jason, you're still on here or not, but if you are, Jason was another winner, and Billy's brother Danny's brother Billy actually won an HO scale set. And then my good friend Mike Redden was actually the winner of the other HO scale set. And those decals all finally got sent out this past week and are arriving. So I'm looking forward to seeing folks get those going. POV working. Okay. All right, hold on, Garrett. You shush. You shush. Bluetooth, blah 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 blah. Micromark brush cam currently on sale at $49.95 at Bluetooth brush with a microscope camera. Huh. Fascinating. Yes, Danny, he did win. He won those decals. It's unfortunately not for his era of stuff, but. Yeah, because it's a 50-foot incentive per diem box car. The diabetes awareness car. It's a 50-foot PS 5344. But each one that folks won, each one was unique. So there's only one made of every car number, or one set of decals made for every car number that I sent out. All 5 car numbers are unique. I have one that I did live on stream, and the other 4 are unique to the folks who won them. And each one has its own little diabetes awareness slogan on it. So, pretty fun stuff. That's looking pretty good. Let me get a little bit of this on the platform ends here. Can you make it an HOW6? Yeah. I don't know how many, Adam, I don't know how many other clients you would get for that, but I know you get at least one with Ed, because Ed is modeling HO wide gauge. Which is very cool to see. Hey, Trackside Mike. Good to see you, Mike. Keeper on the tracks. Good to have you in. Hope you're doing well. HOW6 is 6 foot gauge in HO scale, Garrett. Well, a lot of people are modeling the semi-sesquicentennial, or whatever it is, or the bicentennial. Ed is modeling the centennial, singular, as in 1886. Or 76, 1876, my goodness. And it's really neat to see. So it's cool stuff. You can use one of the non-flangeway ones, yeah. Oh, thank you, Paul. Thank you for that. Yeah, I was probably pushing it a little too much. All right, that's all good. Now we're just gonna do a little bit of Old Tuscan for some just generic dirt grime. Need Bart gauge. Ooh, true. What is Bart? Is that 6 foot gauge? I don't remember. Is that 6 foot or is that 5'6" or 5'4"? It was some strange gauge. I don't recall. Peak tennis and none. Listen, Paul. Shush. I fixed it, alright? $5'6". Okay, gotcha. What is the next train show? I don't know. I don't actually know that. The next train show I know of, at least in my area, is the Kingston train show in Kingston, New York. But that's not for another like month and a half, I think. I think that's or maybe a month. That's mid-April, I believe. Is when that show is. Timonium, probably Timonium. You're right. I always forget that Timonium happens because I've never had a chance to get down there for that. Someday. Well, which is it, Adam? Horses or donkeys? Sorry. I couldn't help myself. St. Louis in June and July, yeah. True, St. Louis RPM. Although, yeah, so when... shoot, I don't know when things are. April 11th, there you go. I don't know, I don't remember exactly when Timonium is, but I think Rocky Mountain might have it beat then. Oh, you know, well, it's not quite a train show, but you know what the next train event is? Is 1 week from today on the NMRA's YouTube channel will be the NERX virtual convention. Still blowing up my... What the heck? How? Alright, let's back it off another couple decibels. There. Hopefully that's a little better. Let me also... There. Hopefully that's a little bit better. Thank you for keeping an eye on that for me, Paul. So this is, it's not quite a maintenance away caboose. Garrett was talking about, I don't know, this is Garrett's model, CSX. In the channel, in the chat, CSX, what is your freaking tag, Garrett? CSX Railfan 814. It is Finger Lakes 202R, which was a shoving platform. Both a shoving platform and a remote connection, so you can MU it to a locomotive and run the locomotive remotely back before built packs were a fairly common thing. Now I sound oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Can't please anyone, whatever. But yeah, so it is a remote. It's like a remote control caboose, basically, and shoving platform. And it's pretty much done at this point. I just gotta weather the trucks. But yeah, so NERX, a week from today, is NERX, which is a virtual convention put on the Northeast region of the NMRA. It is free for everyone to attend. It is on the NMRA official YouTube channel. It is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday night next week. It will include clinics, it will include tips and tricks, it will include a model showcase, and it will include many layout tours, of which myself and Paul recorded several. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to be hosting a roundtable discussion on remote operations as well. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Like I said, free for everyone to attend. It's going to be, I believe, 6:30 to 10:30 p.m. every night, or 6:30 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time. But highly, highly recommend you guys pop in. Obviously, since I will be hosting a roundtable Monday night, we will not be having a weekly weathering and more next week. So if you want to hang out with me, make sure you hop over there. I'm going to be hosting the night and hosting the roundtable as well. But tune in every night for giveaways. There will be giveaways from some of the leading model manufacturers. Not quite the big ones, but a lot of the smaller, more detail-oriented manufacturers. People like Mini Prints and ITLA and companies like that. So highly, highly, highly recommend you guys all tune in. It's going to be a great, great time. All right, so I think that's about it for the powders. I do want to quickly pop out the wheel sets to weather those, and then we will move on to the BNSF GEs for Mr. Sean Klondike. Where did my... There it is. Paul is hosting Thursday. Yes, indeed. Paul is hosting Thursday night. Between the two of us, we recorded 6 layout tours of the 8. So it's going to be a lot of we put in a lot of work on the back end, the two of us, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So tune in Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. It was really fun, or it will be really fun. So I'm going to carefully pop these wheel sets out so I can dirty them up. Where's my tweezers? Let me use my tweezers. That'll be a little safer. What from? Whoa! What on earth happened? That's wild, Mike. There we go. There we go. There are 4 wheel sets right there. We're going to pop that off to the side. And then we are going to go ahead and grab one of these brushes. Let's do... not this one. Let's do this one. Yeah, this one should do. Load up my brush with my rust wash. Careful not to break the resistor on the wheel set. Looking for a while. Back to the back to the bracket. Sounds good, Danny. Yeah, for anyone who doesn't know, the Rail Brothers, they've got a great channel. They do a lot of rail fanning stuff. They've got a great podcast, the Stack Talk podcast, and they've been doing for March Madness, instead of basketball, they are following Union stations of North America, the United States and Canada, and they're doing a bracket to see what's the favorite Union station in North America. So check out their social media if you want to tune into that and chime in on what that is. Sometimes it's easier not to question. Yeah, true. Especially when it comes to YouTube. Alright, this wash needs a little bit more pigment in it. Ride the algorithm wave. Here we go. Oh yeah, they got a lot of footage, a lot of great footage of the 2101 is it rating in Northern? Whichever T1 it is that RNN, RBMN have. Can never remember which one is which. 2101, 2102, and 2100. Well, 2100 is the one, I think 2100 is the one at the B&O Railway Museum. But regardless, whichever one of the T1s Reading Northern have, they got lots of good footage of that, being from, you know, the greater Philly metro. Unfortunately, you gotta go. No worries. I will be sure to send you some photos of it all reassembled once it's done, Garrett. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you enjoy and have a great rest of your night, and I can't wait to get this back to you. Probably get it back to you at the RPI RIT op session later this month. That way we don't have to worry about shipping. Okay. Yes, yeah, that's it makes it much easier, huh, Paul? And then we always have ops till you drop if you forget, if we forget anything or realize anything after the fact, we always have ops till you drop as a backup. Alright, let's go ahead and grab this and this. And powder up these trucks, or these wheel sets as well. Overly Sarcastic Productions did Arch Madness rating the world's Triumph arches. That's funny. There we go. Okay, let's get this all put back away. And then I gotta go ahead and wipe down my workspace here. That way I can clean up all of this extra powder. I don't want to get those onto places I don't want them on the BNSF units here. All right, let's go ahead and carefully pop these wheel sets back into the trucks. Is that in? That's not in. There we go. Now it's in. I'm gonna have to give the treads of these wheels a good cleaning. There we go, and there we go. All reassembled. There is 202R. Pretty much done. I just got to seal her up, and she will be good to go. I'll also probably do some weathering on the couplers, but I will do that at a later date. I'm just gonna put 202R. I'm gonna put her up here for now so that she is safely out of the way. I'm gonna change my gloves. That way I don't get powder all over everything on these BNSF units. Wow, that only took us 45 minutes. Nice. Alright, what am I doing? Oh, I need go ahead and clean my workstation here. Does the caboose have a decoder to control the lights? Oh, it has more than just a decoder to control the lights. It has a Lokesound V5 decoder in there, which controls the lights, has sounds. Garrett went in and did a bunch. Actually, you know what? I'm going to take this as an opportunity to take a quick break, run over to the other room. Is it the room or is it in here? I'm actually not sure now. No, it's right over there. All right. I'm going to take this opportunity to take a quick second to run over and grab my DCC EX setup stuff. So I can... oh, no, it is out. Okay. I will be back in just a minute or two. I need to run out to grab my DCC EX stuff. But I'll show you all of the functions that Garrett put into it. It's pretty sweet. So I'm going to take a quick 5-minute break or so to grab all that. And I'll be back then. And Chris, have a good night. No worries. It's getting to us all, I'm sure. I'll see you around, man. Okay, I'm back. And I realized a couple things. One, I don't actually remember where I put the Android device that I typically use to control my DCCEX system. And two, that doesn't matter because I have a ESU local programmer sitting on my desk right here. So, we're just going to use that instead.
Hello there.
So, let me load up the local programmer here. As it turns out, Paul, yes, it has. So let me hook up the local programmer here. Clip that in there. Clip this in here. Yeah, there we go. Let's pull this back to about there. Let's grab the caboose. Place it down on the track here. Let me grab the documentation Garrett has for the caboose as well. That way I know what buttons to push. There it is. Okay. Driver's cab. It is 202. Go. What? I unplugged the local programmer. Hello there. Yeah, that was my watch somehow heard something that I said as a greeting and then said hello. Alright, now let's see which cable is plugged into my local programmer. I think it's this one. We'll find out. Try again. Hey, there we go. Okay, we are good. So, I'm going to quickly mute the music for a little bit so you can hear this a little clearer. We're going to bring Mikey right down to the caboose. There we go. Now you guys should be able to hear it nice and clearly. So we're going to hit F8 to start up the generator. There's the generator. I'm going to hit the bell. The horn. Nice horn there. I'm going to quickly take you folks down here so you can see the headlights. So I'll try and put you down. Oops. I'm going to try and put you down right here. And I'm going to have to zoom out. Zoom to middle. There we go. Whoop. Oops, I kicked the caboose off the end of the track. Alright, so let's turn on the headlight. Oops. There we go. Hello? That's why. Okay. I need to do this. There we go. So here's your headlight. Let's see, what else do we have? We have ditch lights on 6. Ditch lights, and I think they do flash. So there's that. You got set the air / release the air. What else do we have? We got the rotary beacon on the roof. So that's it for lighting function. So I'm going to go ahead and carefully put you folks back up top here. And now we're just going to play the other fun sounds for you, which is, you get the Shake Hands with Danger riff. Yeah, and camera refresh make the lights seem really weird. What else do we have? We got the Cargo Moving People. Norfolk and Western song. Kill the power, so we don't have to listen to the entire song, because Garrett did in fact load the entire song onto there. What else is on here? Norfolk Southern, what's your function? Norfolk Southern, what's your function? Looking up the country, helping business run. They haul everything safely and on time. Yeah, again, same deal with the whole song. Built along the lines. We've got the goods to help give this and then we've also got the Finger Lakes Railway song, which is rather fitting. Well, we'll see if it plays. There it goes. You can typically mute this for both mics to get it from there. Yeah, I assume so, yeah. But it's just a Loc Sound decoder, so. Forced into mergers to join some bigger old lines with just a handful of glass one. So, that's all the functions that Garrett put on there. But fun stuff. All right, now let's carefully go ahead and put all this stuff away. Stop that. Close my Loc programmer. Get rid of all these cables. Does have the N-Scale Train Boy theme song. Well, we got to make the N-Scale Train Boy theme song for that first. But yeah, Garrett did a great job with these caboose. I had this one, which is 202R, and then I also had 201R, which was a similar caboose. He was talking about it earlier. But I weathered that one. I already got it back to him. It was slightly lighter weathering on that one. But now we're going to jump to the world of GEs. And N-Scale, my favorite. So first thing I want to do is take out the exhaust stacks and get those installed back on the locomotive so I can weather those with them. Here's the Dash 8. Let's get the band together. Yeah, there you go. It would have to be something jazzy. Your off work has been draining? No worries, Adam. Thanks for tuning in. It's always good to have you in here. Always great to chat. Have a great rest of your night, man. Still no lizard paper. Well, You let us know when you find them. Have a good night, Adam. Thanks for tuning in. For anyone confused about the lizard people, Adam works at the Denver International Airport, which is, I don't know, supposedly there's all sorts of conspiracy theories or something about that airport, but I don't know. So he's keeping us up to date as he explores to let us know if he finds any of the lizard people. Used to play some jazz drums back in the day. Ooh, very nice. Yeah, I am a longtime jazz trombonist. The blues. Yeah, which is it, Danny? Is he taking the RTA in? I don't actually know. I know he actually used to work for the RTA, I believe, but still 2 more basements to find. Oh boy. Well, you let us know when you find the basement with the lizard people. There we go. All right, GE stacks have been reinstalled. All right, now we go ahead and figure out what I am going to do here. Got to get Billy playing something though. Yeah, there you go. We got to convince Billy to pick something up. Oh, I can turn the music back on now. Speaking of music, you don't take RTD anymore. All right. Back to work here. So first thing I want to do is put a little bit of rust wash, just a little bit onto the stacks here. No worries, Adam. Thanks so much for tuning in. As always, it's always good to have you here, and we'll see you around, man. Rest well. And hopefully see you next week on NERX. Glad you could see me stream next week. Heading off for the evening. Definitely going to try and see as much of NERX as possible. Awesome, Scott. Thanks so much for tuning in. Have a great rest of the night, man. Thanks so much for tuning in, and yeah, hope we'll see you next week. There we go, on the stack. Ed's sleepy too. Everyone's sleepy. I mean, it is 10 o'clock Eastern now, so don't blame you guys. Other thing I want to do before I really get working on the powders is take a little bit of black paint. Come on. There we go. Oh, well, I suppose that works. Not entirely what I was trying to do, but close enough. So I'm going to take a little bit of black paint. I'm going to paint in the inside of these exhaust stacks black. That way they have more depth to them. Yeah, that's true as well. I wasn't even thinking about that. Yeah, body on 11 p.m. it makes it even more rough. There we go. We've darkened that in. Now we're gonna go ahead and do the same on the -7. Give it a little bit more depth. Okay. Good, good, and good. Let's put this black paint back away. Okay. All right. Now we're going to go ahead and start darkening in these grills. We're going to start with the grills. Actually, I'm going to go with the other soot. I'm going to do the black soot instead of the gray soot. There we go. Alrighty, that's looking so much better. Let me, thank you, Ed. Let me go ahead and zoom us back in here. Now we're working on N scale again. Excuse me. Sounds good, Peter. Yeah, I won't. Stream will wrap up around 11 Eastern as usual. But thanks so much for tuning in, man. Thanks for the reference photo as well. It's a good regardless of whether or not that specific technique applied tonight. It's still a really good reference photo to have. So thanks for sending it over and thanks for tuning in. Hope to see you around, man. Have a good rest of your evening. Okay, that grill has been darkened in. Now let's jump to the sides. Actually, I'm going to go with a smaller brush, even than this one, for the sides. So I can keep careful control over where the powder is going. Good there. Okay. Let's do the dynamic exhaust here on the sides. Or the radiators, rather. Control with weathering? Oh, it's all about control. Weathering is all about control. If you just dirty everything, it's not going to look quite as realistic. Especially when it comes to what I'm doing right now, which is really just darkening in the grills just to give them depth. And I'm actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to quickly take the shell off of the frame here. More dirt. We'll get to the dirt in a minute, Danny. Be patient. We got to do the dark, the shadows before we can get to the dirt. And I'm going to take the -7 shell off as well while I'm at it. Weathering is about patience and control and taking your time. There we go. There we go. Carefully, I'm going to take the sill off of the body here. Ooh, there we go. There we go. Naked locomotive, is that allowed? Yeah, I don't know. We're in risky territory there, huh? Oh, Ed. There we go. Good. Flip it over. These intake grills up here, I don't really need to darken in, but I'm going to add a little bit just so that they match. Alright, now this intake grill right here. Someday I will learn what all these grills are ducted to inside the locomotive, so I can actually know what I'm talking about, instead of just saying this one and that one and the other one. go. Sorry, I'm giving it a little quiet. I'm just trying to stay focused here on these grills. Once I'm done darkening in the grills, I can get a little bit more talkative again. There we go. Okay. So that's good on the Dash 8. We're going to go ahead and do the same on the Dash 7, and then we're going to finish one locomotive at a time after this. Excuse me. Focus. Focus, focus, focus. Focus, pocus. I mean, what? There we go. All right, this side over here. It really is amazing the difference that darkening the grills makes. Comparing this side to that side. Yeah, that's the plan. That's the plan with a couple of these doors, Ed. Is to not necessarily look like they've been repainted, but maybe taken off of another unit that was more recently repainted or cleaned or something. You know, all part of that storytelling. In my mind, weathering is all part of telling the story of the unit. Okay, let's darken in the grill on top. radiator grill for the Dynamics. There we go. All right. Clean up this door. There we go. So I am dynamically. I suppose you could say that, Ed. Yes, at that time I was indeed dynamically focused. And I think that's kind of what you were talking about, right, Ed? Oops. And I was going to do that on this array of doors here as well. There we go. Clean up all the excess powder here. Now let's go in back to the -8. Which doors was I gonna have freshly cleaned? That one. And this one here. Go, and then the F was clean. There we go. And the N here as well. There we go. Now my own model's doing with it. That is actually something I would like to do at some point. Is model something like that, because that would be super fun to do. You know, be a BSNF model. I've seen pictures of units like that out on the road, and it's very cool. So with something that that is my own, I would definitely at some point I would like to do something like that. Wouldn't be a BNSF because well, in N-Scale I don't model that era. But someday I would like to do a unit like that. Maybe even on one of my own railroads units. Just make sure these brushes are nice and clean. Good. All right. Oops, don't do that. There we go. All right, now grab the lighter soot. I'm gonna go over the whole roof. Or one with different doors from different locomotives, like early Amtrak train sets. Yes. I almost did that. I almost tried to do that with actually with the Dash 7. I almost before I with the battery boxes here on the Dash 7. I started trying to paint over the whole battery box like it was from an older Santa Fe paint unit, but I decided to wipe it all off and leave just some corners, like it's an older unit that's just been painted over. But yes, those little things like that, those are super fun for storytelling. Okay, let's go ahead and put the unit back together again now, so I can add some grime to the undercarriage. There we go. So I looked, and what I'm gonna do. Take my palette here, and I'm gonna do a little bit of a blend between a couple of these colors for the road grime to represent kind of central Iowa, where Sean is trying to model. A little bit of that, and then some soot black. And a little bit more of the light. Okay. Speaking of those early Amtrak train sets, I would really like to do one of those. I think it was a Seaboard SCL E8 that had like all sorts of mismatched doors, or patched over doors or something like that. And I really want to do that. I really want to model that unit because that is a cool looking locomotive to me. All right, let's go ahead and grab the frame. Let's put the shell on the frame. That way the trucks and fuel tank can get this treatment as well. Alright, a little bit overboard, and then I'm gonna kind of wipe it off. By which I mean brush it off. Here you go, Danny. Here's your dirt. Do the beep or Christine, yeah. I don't mind repowers, but it's just not really what I want to model. Maybe someday I'll model a repower, but probably wouldn't be as I might do like a DeWitt Jeep. Yeah, one of the RS3Ms that Penn Central and Conrail had, where they took a basically they turned an RS3 into a Jeep 7 or Jeep 9. By putting a 567 inside. There we go. I think I'm also going to do... let's see, where did I put that? What just fell down here? What was that? Is that this? I think. Put it there. Oh, these are the dark brown stuff. I want the this one. Go. I'm going to do a little bit of a fuel spill down the side of the tank here. There we go. I missed a drop. There we go. Good. I like that. So that means that this unit is largely done. Largely done, yeah. There we go. So there you go, Sean. There's your Dash 8 basically done. I might do a little bit more touch-up work after it's done sitting on there and after I take a look at it, but there you go. So we'll go ahead and put that off to the side, and we will jump over to the Dash 7 next. Good, good, good. Lots of agreement. I guess that means I did a good job. The hard part about weathering is making it look worn and used and dirty without making it look disgusting. That's the hard part of weathering, in my opinion. Because it's super easy to over-weather something. It's super, super easy to make it look just like demolished. But the subtleties of making a unit look worn like it's been out on the rails for 10, 15 years without making it look absolutely decimated, that takes some practice, and it takes looking at a lot of train pictures. Let me tell you. Knowing when to stop, yes. Knowing when to stop fiddling is a big part of it too. It takes a lot of knowing when to stop. It takes a lot of fine control, and just being very, very, very limited with what you do. Especially if you're using powders. Powders are super easy to overdo. So it takes a lot of finesse. The other big thing with weathering, and if Ted is still in here, which I don't know if he is, but Ted will tell you, Ted will be the first to tell you, it's all about color. It's all about getting the right colors in the right places. Ah, thanks, Ted. You are still here. Means a lot coming from you. Well, it means a lot coming from anyone, but especially from you. Yeah, no worries, Ted. No worries at all. I understand doing that for sure. Alright, good. Now let's do the soot on the roof. there we go. $10:52, which means my timing is just about perfect. There we have it. A pair of, whoops. Let me zoom back out here so you can actually take a look. A pair of lovely, dirty GEs. Ready for work. No worries, Ed. I'm going to be wrapping up here in a minute anyway, so thanks for tuning in, Ed. Have a good night, man. So there you have it, folks. Might do a little bit more touch-up work when I, looking tomorrow after, stepping away from it for a minute just to see if there's anything else I want to touch up and adjust. But Sean, behold your engines. We got your Dash 8 here. B40-8. Oh, shoot. I gotta be so careful. Apparently, I just got a whole bunch of red paint on my gloves. Alright, well, you know what that means. Swap gloves. How the heck did I do that? Alright, I'm just gonna move this this paint boat out of the way. Rather than get another pair of gloves dirty, I'm gonna use my work gloves to handle these. I'm just going to use my work gloves to handle these rather than dirty another set of gloves. Luckily, I only got a dot of red on the underside of the fuel tank, from what I can see. And luckily, it's oil paint, which means I can kind of rub it away. Yeah, that's the only spot I got paint, so that's good. Alright, so here you go. Here's your Dash 8. 8607. Gotta go ahead and get all the glazing back in before I send them back to you. But you got a couple of clean doors right there. Make our way around the rear. And there you go. There's 8607. And here is B23-7, number 4231. One of my favorite touches, I like what I did a lot on the Dash 7 here, including I put a little bit of yellow on the bat boxes. There, you can see a little bit of yellow there. Like the old Santa Fe paint is fighting its way back through on the battery boxes around the edges there. But we got another couple of clean doors. We got a clean door right there. Around the front. Around the side. Another battery of 3 clean doors right there. And around back. So there's your GEs, Sean. I hope you are looking forward to getting them back. I'm looking forward to sending them back to you and seeing you able to have them in person. Couple of pumpkins. Looking like they've been out on the road for a bunch of years. In need of a good bath. So, yeah, I think I am going to wrap the stream there. I was thinking about maybe jumping on and doing a little bit more work on my box cart, but I think it's better that I just wrap the stream here, rather than try and push myself and do weathering that I'm not happy with because I'm too tired. So, thank you guys so much for tuning in, folks. I hope you all have enjoyed the stream tonight. I know I sure did. I had a lot of fun working on these weathering projects. It's been too long since I just sat down and did a bunch of weathering, so working on these has been so much fun. And I got plenty more weathering to do, because even once I finish my BN boxcar, I have a box of, I think, 6 or 8 cars behind me over there for my good friend Corey at Ours Trains on YouTube. So, lots and lots of weathering to come. No stream next week, just a reminder again. Instead, I will be on the NERX live broadcast over on the NMRA's YouTube channel, and that is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday from 6:30 to 9:30 or 6:30 to 10:30 p.m. Eastern, and I will be on Monday night. So I hope to see you all there. Hope you all have enjoyed the stream. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you all on the next track.